Okay, first thing you want to do is go to the back of the net, peel back the plastic that hides pipe wrap. And as you'll see, this one's already been cut. So that's the piece you would normally cut out to get the Netcam flush against here. Normally I'd use either a Swiss Army knife or a saw like this, and this pipe wrap you can actually just cut through and cut the piece off. Then you take this baby home and you put it on eBay. Okay? So that we're going to save for later. But you want a little piece of pipe, just like that. And you can configure the clamp in a couple of different ways, so you can come off the pipe in either direction, left, right, or center. I prefer center, where it's possible. And I always find it handy to have a vice grips with you to try to tighten and loosen things as you go. So we're going to get our super clamp on there nice and tight. Start to hide the pipe a little bit. And then we're going to push our clamp in. Tighten it just a touch, just to get an idea where you're going to end up. And then normally what I do is I take the glass and put the glass right on. Using a split washer and the screw that we provide. Sorry, split washer will be underneath. Then the glass. And that's just going to get us a good start. So that's roughly how your Netcam is going to be. You always keep an eye on the padding back here to make sure we're going to be able to get it clean when everything is done. Okay. Good. What you can use is the level, just to give you a rough idea as you go if you're going to be somewhat level. And usually with the camera, they're like the Canon 5D and the 15mm. You want to be angled up just a little bit. So just tighten things up a touch. We start looking at the camera. So this one is a Canon 5D with a 15mm lens. And what we did for this one is we actually built a spacer. You can mount it right on the bottom of the box with the screw that we provided you. But we made a little bit of a spacer here to bring it up so it's more in the middle of the glass. Got to be careful not to scratch the glass at any time. And if you do end up with scratches, you'll see that the lights in the arena end up giving you bad-looking smudges in your final frame. So you can bring up the camera as close as possible and tighten it down. Once again, I'm just going to check and see if I'm close to being level here. And I can also tell I'm a little wobbly, so I'm going to tighten everything up again later on. Okay. Now what we put in the box is a pocket wizard with the pre-release cable. What that does is keep the camera awake at all times. And the other thing that you want to do is on the remote is you want to put it on silent mode, and you also want to lock the frequency so that when you bump into it, you don't change frequencies. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to tape up everything that we can, especially the on-off switch.
Do some cutting.
put a little piece of tape on that. Now what we've also included is a little piece of Velcro. And what the Velcro is going to do for you is just try to keep the wires out of the frame. Just remember, especially with a body that is full frame and a 15mm, you basically see edge to edge on the 9-inch glass. You want to make sure the wires stay far back. But before I tape that up, I'm just going to give a shot here and make sure that it works. The beeping that you hear is from my remote. So I'm going to be able to tell by the confirmation tones and by the display whether I have in fact hit the remote. So once we get all these wires arranged, not the easiest part of the job. Going to get the remote close to where it needs to be, and also not the cleanest part of the function here. We're just going to tape it in place. Velcro on all sides of the padding, and on the camera box itself. That's pretty much it. The only thing you have left to do to help out the linesmen and the refs is to tape behind the box to try to clean up the back post. So I usually use white hockey tape for that. And we're just going to make this as clean as possible back here. So you make sure your handle is padded to protect the players. Okay, the other thing to keep in mind is that you definitely don't want to leave this in during warm-ups. That's really important because it's one big target. Okay? So what you want to do is, if there's only one net that's going to be used in warm-ups as well as the game, you can get everything set up and then just loosen the super clamp, loosen the extension bar from the super clamp, and the whole thing comes off in one shot. That way your angle is correct, your camera is completely set up, and all you have to do is hook it back up to the clamp between warm-ups and the game itself. Tighten it up, and you're ready to go. Simple as that.